I want to start off by using a couple quotes from the concussionblog.com 2012. John Lynch, a former NFL player, was quoted as saying, "There was a day, it's awful to say, when a guy stumbling off the field was a funny thing. There were a lot of things that had no place in the game." Kevin Kolb, another former NFL player, once said, "I had no idea what a nickel was," referring to the term nickel defense. As you all know, I love racing motorcycles and have been my whole life. It's very dangerous, and at some point you will have to deal with having a traumatic brain injury. The definition of traumatic brain injury is when an external force causes brain dysfunction. It's also known as TBI. Many people suffer from TBI doing all kinds of things, so I hope this interests you. I want to talk about the specifics of TBI so you can become aware and sensitive to the effects it has on the person that suffered this injury. TBI is much more common and can have devastating long-term effects. But there are steps to take to limit the chances of TBI. I want to talk to you about the frequency, long-term effects and diseases, and ways to help prevent it from happening. By the end of this session, I hope you have a better understanding of TBI and limit its damages, and know how to limit its damages. Dr. Terry Horner posted a video on YouTube 2012 under Contemporary Concussion Management stating there are approximately 1.6 to 3.8 million traumatic brain injuries per year. The most common are sports activity, car accidents, falls, assaults, and combat injuries. The most likely age groups are 0 to 4, 15 to 24, and people over 75 years old. People 0 to 4 and over 75 usually have traumatic brain injuries from falling down, while 15 to 24-year-olds usually take the most risk. My first experience of having a TBI was when I was 11 years old. I wasn't knocked out completely unconscious, but I felt dizzy and couldn't really remember what I was doing. When I came back in, I said it wasn't a big deal and I wanted to keep racing. I had a few more of these incidents leading up until I was 18, and that was the first time that I was scared that I had done brain damage. I was knocked out for several minutes and had lingering effects for several weeks and was unsure if I was ever going to come back to normal. Now that we know what TBI is, let's talk about what could happen after you have suffered this injury. MayoClinic.com under TBI states, a traumatic brain injury can result in many areas of the brain. Many people suffering from TBI struggle with speech, memory, concentration, difficulty with self-control, risky behavior, decision-making, and judgment. They also often undergo emotional changes including anxiety, depression, mood swings, irritability, insomnia, and many other things. TBI may also increase the risk of diseases of the brain. The most common are Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and dementia. Now that we know what TBI is and the effects it can have on life, I would like to discuss steps to minimize the risk. TraumaticBrainInjuryNews.com posted 2003 is quoted stating, "While it is nearly impossible to prevent when a TBI will occur, the use of protective gear such as airbags, safety helmet, and alcohol abuse training can greatly reduce the occurrence of traumatic brain injury." So basically, always wear a helmet whenever there's a chance for a head blow. There's also other things you can do, including installing non-slip mats in the bathtubs, keep stairways clean, and have handrails on both sides. Put safety gates up for children on the stairs, and place rubber mats in the playroom where your children are going to play. If you have any doubt that you suffered a TBI, stop the activity immediately and go see a doctor. Proper safety planning and recognition will go a long way to living a healthy life. TBIs can happen anytime, and oftentimes they'll have adverse effects that you can't see. But thankfully, there are steps to minimize the chances. In review, over 1 million people each year in the USA suffer from TBI. Many disabilities and diseases come from having these blows to the brain. With proper planning, recognition, and action, we can all be safer. I hope I brought awareness to traumatic brain injury, and you will be able to take right actions to prevent it from happening. You will minimize damages if it does happen by being able to recognize it in the first place. I would like to leave you with this final thought. If you have a $10 brain, buy a $10 helmet. And last time I checked, you can't replace your brain. This is why I spent good money on getting a good helmet. Thank you. How long is that?